Hey YouTube, this is Dan. I hail from the great state of Delaware, and I've built up enough confidence where I'm going to go ahead and try to establish myself out here on the YouTube platform with regards to fishing vlogs. I have looked within their platform and I've seen nothing when it comes to the state of Delaware with regards to vlogging, instructional videos, or anything of that matter. A lot of vacation videos, some kayak videos, and a lot of the videos are on there from like several years back, and nobody, I guess, just wants to put the time and effort out with respect to that. So I'm going to be that guy. I'd like to try to do that and let people know of our great state and the fishing that's available here within the 3 counties that we have. So I promise you this video is only going to be the only long one that I have, but again, I'll create the ones that are going to be shorter and you don't have to worry about the long, boring stuff. Delaware's a small state. It's only a little bit over 90 miles long. If you blink your eyes, more than likely you probably passed through our state and didn't even realize it. It takes about an hour and a quarter to get through. But we do have a good fishing presence out here. We've got 3 counties that we deal with. I here am in Kent County, but up north is Newcastle County, and then you have down south, which is Sussex County. Most of my focus is going to be right here in Kent County, but I'm going to talk about the 2 other counties first and get those out of the way. That way you know what's going on. Occasionally I might go up north, and again, occasionally I might go down south. So again, Newcastle County, you got up north. Really there's not a huge fishing presence up there. There are a couple of lakes and ponds, and some people's got some golf courses that you can go into. But unless you're going out on a boat and going striper fishing, or off the shores in the Delaware River going catfishing, that's primarily really what you're going for, and some bass and some small local ponds that are up there. Sussex County, on the other hand, you have quite a diverse amount of fishing that you have going down there. You can fish in freshwater, you can fish in brackish water, and as well as salt water. Many species. Again, you're going to catch the usual that you have for the freshwater and lakes and ponds that are down there. Again, with your bass, your catfish, you got carp, you got your panfish, and occasional chain pickerel here and there. Brackish, there's actually a river that goes down there, the Broadkill, and a lot of people do a lot of fishing for weak fish, or some people call them trout. As well, when it spills into the Delaware Bay, you got black drum that you can go out there that get quite large. It can get anywhere from 25 to almost 100 pounds. And then you can go down into the saltwater area, which is a little further down. You're going to go into the Indian River Inlet. There's the north and the south side. And again, a myriad of species you can go for. You've got flounder, you've got tog, you got bluefish. Weak fish, again, you got spot and croaker, shark, sea bass, striper, and again, you can get occasional black drum out there. Pretty much up and down the coast, you can do striper. Again, just depends on where you're at. Certain areas have larger striper, some have a fairly small striper. The further north you go, again, the smaller they get, the further south you go, the bigger they get. Unless you go a little up into Philly, where the big cows are, there's certain areas you can go up there and catch the big ones. However, when you go down into the inlet, anywhere from maybe 10 to the 30, possibly 40 pound range is not too uncommon. There are very large ones, however, they are very rare. We just recently had a gentleman who caught a 60-pound striper, which highly is unusual for our state, where normally, again, the 40-pound range is a little bit more common. But a couple years before that was 55 pounds. So I don't think that record is going to get broken for a good long time, because that, again, is just a fairly unusual large striper that's ever been in this area. So let me get back to Kent County, which is where I'm at. Again, I'm in the city of Dover, which is the capital of the state of Delaware. And again, some people don't know where it's at, and some people don't even know what the state of Delaware is. But my job here is to, again, bring you some information with respect to the state and what you can expect when you come down here. There are certain things you have to worry about if you're going to be a visitor. Obviously, licensing is the one big thing you have to worry about. It's very important when in any of these 3 counties that you have that and it's visible. Either put it on your hat or you put it on your waistband, which most people do. In-state residents, it's $8.50. If you're a non-resident, it's $20 just for a general fishing license itself. There are other licensings that are out there, but I'll get to that in a second as to where you can go for that information and how you can obtain a hard copy as well too if you don't want to go online for it. As I said, you must have your fishing license because there are wardens that are out there and they will fine you heavily if you do not have your license or you have fish that are not the right size or the right weight. And again, it's not a fun thing when you come out here and you spend a little bit of money for the time that you get here, but then you end up spending a whole lot of money because you didn't follow the certain rules that we have here. There are two ways that you can get a license. One, obviously, is you can go to a local bait shop, or actually three. A local bait shop in the areas. There's a few of them in each of the counties. Or you can go to Walmart, which is a pretty good outlet. Or you can go on to our website, which is www.fw.delaware.gov. If you go there, you can click on the fishing icon. It's on the far left-hand side. There's actually a PDF form for a magazine called the Delaware Fishing Guide. And everything that you want to know about the state of Delaware when it comes to recreational fishing is right there. There's also another method that you can go to is, again, when you do come local and you wish to come to our state, you can actually get these at the bait shop as well as Walmart. They pretty much fly off the shelves when they go to Walmart because people like them, they're popular, and they want to keep it by their size for reference. But this, again, will tell you everything that you will get online. But if you want this, it's readily available too in hard copy. You as well have the creel limits and measurements for fish on a ruler that they give to you for free. Every year they come out with it. You can, again, go to the stores for that, or you can go to Fish and Wildlife and they can provide that to you as well, free of charge. All right, so let's go back to my county, which is where my main focus is going to be. That's Kent County. My focus for fishing in this area is going to be bass, catfish, carp, panfish, and with a heavy emphasis on bass, because that's what I am about. I have a buddy here who likes to do the catfishing and carp, and we'll get some videos going on and content with that respect there. But I just want to give you an idea of what type of bass fishing is here in Delaware. You are not going to get the world record here, nor are you going to get anything in the 20s or the teens. It's just not happening here in Delaware. Obviously, you know, with California and Texas, they got this big old basketball bass, which we don't see here. And again, down in Florida, where you get the fish that are in the teens. Delaware has a very active freshwater presence. Again, primarily most people around this area fish for the bass, and you can get anywhere from 3.5 to maybe 6, possibly 7 pound bass, depending on the lakes and ponds that you go to and the types of baits that you use. There are a lot of little ones obviously around. If you were looking for the big one, I'm not going to tell you where it's at. You're going to have to go ahead and look that up for yourself, but the record has been recently broken as of, I think, about 1.5 to 2 years ago. It's 11 pounds 10 ounces, and that bass was big. I mean, I'm talking about massive. That's just for Delaware standards, because I've never seen anything that size here anywhere in our area. But that bass was caught on the same pond as the previous record, which was broken, I guess, a year before that. So this one right now is 11 pounds 10 ounces. The other one is 10 pounds 10 ounces. That's the one that got broke. Again, both at the same pond, two different types of baits. One was live bait, the other one was artificial. So my deduction is it's the same exact fish, it just grew that much larger, about a pound or so. So I mean, if you do the math, I think it's about a pound a year that largemouth grow. But I think that record will stay for quite a while, unless somebody goes back to that pond again and tries for that record. But I don't see it happening anytime soon. You can, again, get 7 or 8 pounders. As of last year, I was sitting on a bay, excuse me, not bay, but on a bridge at a spillway, and I was fishing there all day long, catching all kinds of little bass. I have a gentleman that came right next to me. It didn't even take 15 minutes. He dropped the line once, and boom, 8-pound bass came right out of there. I think he was using a football jig. And of course, you know, obviously I went out of my mind because I saw the fish, and 2, I was jealous because it wasn't me. But I've caught a few, you know, nice ones, you know, a lot of 5s, a lot of 6s, And again, just differs on what type of baits that you use and the bodies of water that you're going to, because we do have lakes and ponds, but we do have a lot of community ponds that are around, which I like to visit, because there are some big ones that people don't bother going there and don't realize that they're there. So that's what you can expect in our county right here with respect to bass. You have a very good chance here in my area to catch very large catfish and carp. I'm not going to put a whole lot of videos here, but I do go fishing with my buddy who has been fishing with me for quite a long time. This dude can literally put a tic tac on a hook, and this guy can catch the most craziest and the largest fish you'd ever see. I don't know what it is, but this guy gets lucky so many times, and it drives me absolutely batty when he does it. And he clowns me every time when it comes to that. And it's I'll catch a bass, and of course he'll be right next to me, same exact bait, and he'll catch one like a pound heavier than me. So that's the battle he and I have going back together. I'm also going to try to put some content on here with regards to challenges. Obviously, I'll create some stories and maybe invite my children. I do have a few people who do want to come and learn how to fish, so I'll probably do that as well. Maybe do some instructional and, again, some unboxing or revealing some new baits with the fishing that I do in this area. Equipment. I do not carry a lot of equipment. Nor do I own a boat, nor do I own a truck. I'm a bank fisherman, so I have to minimize what I want to bring with me to do the specific type of fishing that I'm doing. Because I do a lot of climbing, I do a lot of walking through stuff and everything else, and I don't want to be burning with a lot of stuff. So again, I try to minimize what I need when it comes to bait and as well as equipment. So really I only carry 2 rods with me. I have my Abu Garcia, which is the Veritas 2.0, and as well I have my Duckett that I carry with me. And both of these rods have the loose speed spool. They're the carbon fiber rods, or excuse me, reels. And I keep 30-pound braid on it. I usually use Sufix 832. I don't get into the monofilament or the fluorocarbon, mainly because of the fact that I'm going through all kinds of brush and stuff like that, and I just don't want my line breaking, nor do I want to worry about frays and all that stuff. I mean, you obviously still do with braid, but again, just dealing with the obstacles and trying to pull my my baits and everything else out of the harsh environments that I'm going through, like lily pads or trees or limbs or anything of that nature. I want to make sure that I have an almost guarantee that I can get my bait back. You're going to lose it, don't get me wrong, but your chances are very low when it comes to braid as opposed to your monofilaments and your fluorocarbons. Because again, you put a lot of money into it and you don't want to lose baits every 5 minutes. So that's my primary focus. So I mean, if people want to critique, I'm not going to listen to it, because I only go with what I'm comfortable with, and again, trying to minimize things that I need to bring with me with respect to my equipment. I do have a spider wire bag that kind of slings over your shoulder, so it's like almost like a semi backpack. It's very light, and I can carry about 4 plastic bins of the baits that are important to me, and that keeps my hands free, so I don't have to worry about carrying that in my hands. I can bring other things like my camera or those things that help me try to get my content out there to you, and try to create stories and whatnot, and create all the challenges that I want, and help people learn how to fish, and take my kids out and all that stuff. So again, those are the 2 rods and those are the 2 reels that I carry. Baits. Again, minimization. I don't carry a ton of baits with me. I'm not going to go into name brands or anything else like that, but I'll give you a generic as to what I deal with. Again, this is just to get that video out there, the long video, and then I'll describe what I'm getting, the names, where you can buy it, and all that stuff, and other content that I create there. But the main things are the staples. You got your plastics. I like to bring a jerk bait. I do have a spook that I carry with me. I love chatterbaits, buzz baits, and my favorite, frogs. I love frogs. There's nothing like throwing it over scum or pads and everything else and getting that gigantic blow up, man, and just ripping that big old bass out of those areas that where most people won't go to, but I'll get down and dirty and get there to those areas where I know that they are potentially at. Senkos, I use Senkos a lot too as well. But those are primarily the things that I use right here. That's not to say that I won't use anything else. I've been on a lot of people's vlogs and their videos and everything else with regards to instruction. And if I see something that will fit a pattern that I have in the state of Delaware, I'll go ahead and pick up on it. I'm not one to sit there and learn. To further myself or expand myself when it comes to baits. But if it works, I'll use it. If it doesn't, then I'll move along. But I'm hoping that if anybody sees what I got right here and it might work for them anywhere where they're at, they can do that as well. So again, this video is pretty much going to end in this next couple of minutes, but all I want to do is just establish who I am. My name is Dan, as I told you earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and try to get myself going here along with my friends and showing you how fishing goes here in our state. And hopefully we can have some fun and people can possibly come down and visit and enjoy our fisheries that we have here. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and bid you guys adieu. If you like what you see, click the like button or subscribe if you want. I would like that if you could. And hopefully I can build up my viewership and people can collaborate and do what we need to do to encourage people to keep fishing and having fun. And there's the first bass of the year on a Senko. Nice. About maybe a pound, but it's the first one nonetheless.